You know, today's Mother's Day, and Greg's running late, so he'll be here soon, G. But we definitely have to make sure that us as fathers make sure that the mothers are comfortable today. At least, that's how I see things. A mother, uh, especially a single mother, there's so much responsibility and there's no choices. You have to take care of your child, no matter what, whether the father's there or not. What I watch, especially from black women, is them become a mother and a father and have to work all day and sometimes work all night, figure out how to make sure the child goes to jail, goes to, not jail, goes to school, gets fed, and is taken care of when they can't be around. And like, this is the first child that I've had with a woman where I've been with the woman every day and the child every day. And I'm watching what a mother does every day, all day long, no matter what. Like when I don't feel like doing certain things, I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, I don't have to do certain things. But she got to do, no matter what. She doesn't have to, but she does. You know what I mean? It's just like a mother's instinct. But I do believe women should be celebrated every day, especially for the job of being a mother. But definitely on Mother's Day, giving that appreciation. And it's not what you want to give that mother, it's what they want. I hate when people give me things that make them happy and I don't need it. And it's like, oh, now I have the guilt off my back because I made the effort to give you something, even though it's something I know you don't need or that you don't care for. It's not your love language. My birthday just passed, and on my birthdays, you know, everyone wants me to throw a party. But I'm like, you want me to throw a party on my birthday. You want me to feed and drink everyone on my birthday.
So I mean, what about that?
It just seems crazy. So on my birthday, because I celebrate my life every day, and it's like a party every day for me. I like to relax. I like to reflect. I like to look at now that I live on the lake, look at the lake, be around the people I love. I got a great wife that knows I love to be around female energy. So she always makes sure I'm at a pool. She surrounds me with women or female energy. Make sure I eat, have the drink I want, like whatever I want. So for her day, it's what she wants. Now, in the beginning, yesterday she said, I want you to wake up at 8 in the morning with baby Dusko so I could sleep. And I vaguely remember hearing around 8 in the morning, Rocky telling baby Dusko, it's Mother's Day, let daddy get up with you. And he was like, no. So I ended up waking up at 10 and seeing that, she was still doing what she do every day to take care of baby Dusko no matter what. And he's so accustomed to her doing certain things that he don't even want me doing them. You know what I mean? Did you see last week's fight?
Oh yeah. That was a good fight. Young man coming in with a lot of heat in the beginning of the fight. Mm-hmm. He really.
What's his name? What's his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he got one of the funny Mexican name, but he came out there balling, throwing punches. Mm-hmm. He catching on Canelo a couple times. But I can see Canelo, his poise and how calm he was in the fight. That's a vet. That's a veteran move right there. Just picking the fight, waiting for the time for him to make his move. It was a very exciting fight. I'm pretty sure, they make big numbers.
Well, Canelo has two Mexican demographics.
Yeah.
The problem with black fighters is black people don't support black fighters enough.
That's sad. That's real sad.
It's always been like that. That's why I like with Mayweather, for what I remember, when he got with Canelo, those were one of his bigger fights. Or with Oscar De La Hoya, because the Spanish or the Mexicans, I'm going to say it wrong, but they always follow each other.
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason, black fighters can't get all black people to loving that. We got Tank, we got Bud, we got Shakur, Devin Haney. If Devin Haney could knock somebody out, it'll be a big thing for him.
No, he's still a top fighter, because he lost one fight. Come on, we can't knock the man down because of one fight.
No.
Because we 30 on 1, 32 on 1. That's a great fighter.
Well, that's the thing about boxing. You could have a undefeated, but if you get knocked out a certain way, unless you come back, you out. And that's the reason why they were knocking Garcia out, because I mean, you know, counting him out, because Tank had put him on his wheels, I mean, on his back, or rather made him take a knee. And I thought he was cooked because of the way he was coming back from that. Like, you know, but what I hadn't in hindsight looked at is how much weight he dropped down in and all that. It's like when Canelo took that loss to the other dude, I wasn't mad at Canelo. I forgot the guy's name because he went up in weight. You know what I mean? And Canelo has been, like, he started out as Floyd, 147. So now he's what, super middleweight?
Yeah.
So he's tried to take every single title and took on anyone at any weight until, you know, people are just too heavy. I believe Canelo, if he could keep surviving, moving up in weight, he'd go all the way up to heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
He's been fighting for a while. But yeah, in the ring, he definitely showed poise. He definitely, I can't say he schooled homeboy because he ain't beat him down, but he, as a veteran, took his time and, you know, put the beats on him. But homie definitely stood his own, and homie definitely won't be dropped down to the ranks. Like when my man Peter fought, I forgot his name, Taylor Ben, is that his name? He just fought him. But he went the distance, and now Peter is like, just because he went the distance at that platform and didn't get knocked down and gave him a good fight, it was almost like he won the fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, if you give heart.
Yeah. Not even fighting. I mean, winning is not always winning. Sometimes, you know, you can win a fight, but your opponent took you the distance. It'd be like, hold up now, you know. And like he don't figure something out that I could actually go the distance with some of the greatest. So next time you see that fighter, you know, it's gonna be a totally different fight. You know, and one thing I realized, Camelo, what he did, man, I respect what he did. When he knocked Buddy out, you see him kind of picked him up. That's a respect. Like young buck, you got it. Your time is coming. You know,
He didn't want to destroy him.
He didn't want to destroy him. You can, you know, it's like, you know, and like you say, we're the same people. You know, we're the same people, and we all gonna eat together. You know, we gonna be fine. And like you said, us black fighters, we gotta understand that. We gotta understand this business. Behind closed door is different than when we are outside, when we out there fighting. You know? Yeah. And
so, well, I can say this, as far as fighting goes, I gotta say in this moment, Kendrick won.
Oh, Kendrick, yeah.
It's almost like by far now. It's like last week, it was a neck to neck, but after that, the last exchange and the pedophile thing and the response and the way that record, you're not like what, Not Like Us, that's the name of it?
Yeah, that record's
that
big.
Shit is a hit record.
Hey,
so
you got a club, you got a club banger, you know what I'm saying? You got a diss track, you know, you got people making, they got dance about this song now. Listen, my son only 11 years old. Today I'm in the car with him. Guess what he playing? That same song, Not Like Us.
It just seemed like he's disrupted Drake's life. And now, again, I don't know what's going on over there, but they're shooting at his crib. And what I'm finding out is so many people that people might not think are like that or involved in certain things. Those be the ones that be like, God damn, they was doing that? God damn, I didn't even know shit like that was going on. And it was like, you know.
Well, a lot of people thought Kendrick not like that, but not realize Kendrick grew up in the game. Kendrick is a battle rapper, you know. You can be a great rapper. You can be a hit rapper. But when it comes to battle rapping, that's something totally different. You know, that's a one-on-one. That's a one-on-one phase. It's different now.
Yeah, and it seems like, at least for a little while, I think disc records are going to be kind of whack for a second. Because everyone's doing it.
Everybody jumping in.
And now when someone does it,
the game coming in.
It could be looked at as, I'm not saying games cloud chasing, but it could be looked at as that. But it's just like, not even cloud chasing, it's like, because everyone's battling now, everyone's going to start battling.
You know, Shaq made a diss track.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. So it's not like a surprise anymore. But the fact that Kendrick as a titan and Drake as a titan in this industry are fighting, those are like the two heavyweight champs from different like categories or different places, or champs for different reasons, fighting. But it does seem like the industry is just sick of Drake. It just seems like it. Like, I didn't know it was so much hatred from, not hatred, but like so many different people that are in the industry have sort of gone against him. and I didn't know there were so many people that had problems with him.
A lot of people speaking up now.
Yeah.
You know,
They're saying all that shit came out his camp.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, and that's what hurts is like when someone can say, yo, your crew hates you. And again, I don't know, but as a battle, this has been the best battle of all time. I'm gonna say this. I've been here in hip hop for a while. This has been the most impactful battle to where it looks like the battle songs are changing the trajectory of that artist's life. It just seems like things are different for Drake right now. You know what I mean? And I've never seen this happen before, and this shit was real. I mean, it turned into a wall. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing also, but Drake fans still gonna back him up though. Cause I don't have a lot of conversation with him. They still gonna back him up.
I mean,
talk about this, talk about that. I'm like, man, let the numbers speak for itself. Let's
again,
put out the numbers.
I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, let's put out the numbers. I'm just
saying what I'm seeing as far as TikTok.
Oh yeah.
What I'm seeing trending.
What
I'm saying about it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like it in this moment, and almost like. It might be over. I think it's over. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's over.
That BBL Dreezy, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they got the BBL Dreezy.
I went to sleep, bro. I went to sleep. That soul sleep. That BBL Dreezy is on my head the whole day.
It's like they going at him in so many ways.
Everybody does.
Like you got Future, Kanye, Rick Ross, Kendrick Lamar, like so many heavyweights that's on your head. Pause. And they got like music that's trending and hit records and
everybody jumping in.
And then also, the pedophile shit, they going hard with that. So, and that's the type of stuff that messes with your sponsorships, and shit like that. They hit them hard. Pause.
You said, back in your era, even though people was hard on you, but they didn't have the media like they did. It wasn't no internet. Internet amplified things 1,000 times more. Overnight.
It wasn't no algorithms, man.
In 1 hour, 1 million people watching your video. Yeah.
It wasn't no streaming. But again, it wasn't me against an artist. It was me against an industry, against people that were sort of coming together, conspiring to rob artists and trying to stop me from saving them, the artists, from these people being able to rob them. The interesting thing is that, based on what's going on, with Puff or whatever, there's a lot of silent people. And this has been the first time that I've been able to actually work without having to feel a lot of the choosing the side shit. Like people just want to work right now. I don't know if it's a coincidence or because of the fact that, a lot of people have to remain silent or can't, maybe hate for what I'm doing. But in this moment, it's been like, the only moment, I don't know, again, I feel like it must have been, because I already was frustrated, like, I'm coming back outside, period, I'm ready to fight. But now I'm back outside, and the people that I was fighting are silent. So I'm like, oh, this is great. So now I'm on one, you feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm getting back to work with the music. I've already launched America New, that's the television network, and that's rocking, CPMs, data, broadcast live. Got the studio.
I got a live stream, music all day.
Now I got Blue Rock, which is another vertical. So got about 10 artists that are really good, band, going into the marketplace. Now I'm going to focus on the CEO vertical as far as the clothing line. We got the book vertical. Rocky sold about 50, 60,000 books this year.
Wow.
And all that's independent big. Right now.
That's big.
So maybe it may be time to scale or look for investment for growth. And that's when it makes sense to me to do that. But what I do know is that as far as media goes, not most of our quote-unquote black-owned television networks are not black-owned. They are black-faced.
Black-faced.
So when you own 20% and then the bank or some investors put up the rest of the money and they're not from your culture, you don't own it.
You don't own that.
And most of these networks, from Aspire, Bounce, Revolt, BET, none of them are black-owned.
Oprah too?
I don't know. I gotta look under the hood there. If she didn't use black money to get the loan to pay for it, if she doesn't own more than 51% of it, then yeah,
You saying BET,
it's
that's
blackface.
black entertainment TV.
That hasn't been owned by a black man
That's
in
supposed to be
20
all
years.
black.
That hasn't been owned by a black man in 20 years.
In 20 years.
It's owned by Paramount now.
Man, we've been
fooled.
We've been fooled.
Yeah, well, and what you have to look at is what's controlling the images on television. When you say you're black, and then because you're not, and you're putting images in front of black people, it's the images that you want to control those people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We don't have our own news networks, or at least at a linear level, to control the way people get elected, the way people vote. None of those things. You know what I'm saying? And we can't complain about it. For me, we gotta do something about it. So that's the reason why I decided to do my own television networks and do my own independent labels and make my own movies and make my own books. Simply because if I don't, then I'm depending on them to do it. And then I'm getting mad at them because they're not doing it the way I want them to do it. It's for us to do it on our own, once we're aware of the issues. If we don't like the laws, it's for us to go get laws passed, for us to lobby. But a lot of us don't know how. We're conveniently not taught. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting the Blue Rock division, the music, Nicolette from Charleston, Legit from Florida, from Pauls County, Micah Da Vinci from Florida, Christian Bay from Canada, Kitty Red from Indianapolis, Booster from Detroit, all different places.
That's all over.
And, I'm putting them on the road. I'm giving them my personal Sprinter van. My personal. Like, hit the road in the same way I would, but you got to hit the road. And we're going into those marketplaces. We're going into Canada, Detroit, Indianapolis, Gary, and perform live instruments, collectively as a band. And again, I'm not going to sit around and complain about what a major label should or shouldn't be doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach the artists, because when I have an artist, it's not my artist. They have their label and my label, and we're partners. It's a co-venture. You understand what I'm saying? And, you shouldn't wait to get booked. You got to know how to book your own shit. You shouldn't wait for someone to pay you to go into another marketplace. You have to go into that marketplace, get with some people, and do it yourself.
So you can do your own tour.
You have to
wait.
And that's what this is.
You come knocking on the door.
Not many of the people have sold a record yet. But they're on a tour. A major can't do that because they don't know how. They don't care enough to do that. But within making this tour, I'm teaching all the artists how to do it on their own. There's never an excuse to not be doing shows. All you got to do is go into a venue that's not doing good that day or that's dark and say, you keep the liquor, let me get the door, or we bust down the liquor and we perform.
I got to ask you a question. One thing I realized, one thing people tell me when I was growing up is you can't do 5 things at one time. It's like you got to master one thing, then you move on to the next. But from what I'm noticing from you, you are applying 5, 6 different things at one time, and this is kind of new to me, but you're managing everything. Like you said, you got the TV network going on, you got a tour going on, you got the clothing line going on, so it's like I've watched books going on. So it's like you got 5, 6, 7 things in a pot, but yet you're still making things work. Tell me how your thought process go about doing that.
It's because they all work together. So if you make a movie, you need music in the movie. You make some music, you need a video. You have to tour it. You know what I mean? You have to have a platform to put it on. I think it's harder work for me to ask somebody to put my shit on their platform than for me just to build my own. You know what I'm saying? Just to me, it's harder to ask than to build. Some people think it's easy to be given. Pause. To me, it's too hard, pause, for me to wait for you to be feeling like giving me something and have to be happy about it and I don't like you. Then to me, just go build it myself.
Let's do it.
It just all works together, and I follow dreams. So if the people around me have a dream, and it usually coincides with what I'm doing, then it makes it to where everything can happen at one time. So for example, all these different artists, each one of them play a different instrument. So whether it was strategic or not, one artist, Christian plays guitar, Booster and Micah play bass, but Micah and both of them play all kind of instruments. Adrian plays drums. So each one of them have solo projects, but as a band, they can play together. So now we don't have to pay for a band. They're just all supporting each other.
Yeah,
it all works out. So I get to move, 5, 6 artists at the same time for the price of, one, because if you got a band, you got to pay to rehearse the band. They don't give a fuck because they don't have an album. They have no future in it. And, they're usually assholes because they're mad because they tried to go solo and couldn't work. And for money now, they got to play for somebody else they don't usually like. I want everyone to have a vested interest. I want their dreams coming true. If you play for me, they're going to play for you. If you play for them, they play for you. It's a collective thing. And while we're there, you're getting aggregating content, right? So instead of giving it to MTV and BET, put on American News, period. And we know how to push the narrative. At least I do. You know what I'm saying? But also, I've been a master. Like I did become a master of music. I did become a master of clothing. I think I'm a master. I'm not going to say I'm a master at making movies because I didn't catch that $100 million lick yet. But I've made movies that have been historical. So I'm pretty decent when it comes to movies. For books, I never really, did the book thing. But we figured it out, and Raquel's killing them. We just came back from Georgia, and we went and did of course, Rocky went and did a reading to the children with the full band, with Micah, with Adrian, with Cadence, full band. Rocky's parents showed up, the mayor showed up. Of course, the FOI was there, helped me down completely. And also a big shout out and a happy birthday to the Don, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Minister Farrakhan, 91, I think.
Wow.
And again, that's the OG and impactful. I want to give him a shout out. But we were there, and then we went to Jekyll Island, where the Rockefellers and the rest of them plotted out the Federal Reserve. So it's not where they made the money, but where they decided to make paper to represent gold and implement it to the rest of the world. But what we did was we went out there and they set it up, and we spoke about what real currency is in the same place that they try to control and make up currency and try to control us. And, we were able to look at their cribs and all that. And their cribs is all right, but I didn't think any of their cribs were better than mine. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, these are supposed to be billionaires, and their houses weren't so as compelling as I thought they would be. So I think we're in the right track. And, my point is, we're not waiting for someone else to change the narrative. We're not waiting and complaining. Almost every time you give me a haircut, I'm telling you where I just came from another state, trying to do something like educate the children or meet with adults that are trying to help our future and reconstruct the narrative as it relates to us. But my point is, every day we are actively fighting. So there's motherfuckers out there that talk shit about culture and this, that, and the third. I don't see them in any schools. I don't see them trying to shut down any jails. I don't see them bringing awareness to anything. I'm very disappointed that I put this stuff on my Instagram about what's going on in the Chicago jails, and I don't see nobody talking about it, not black press or white press. But let's say, when you look at the amount that people are talking about this battle, why would y'all only talk about the battle? 2 black men, or half white, half black, and a black man going at each other in hip hop. But if I tell you they're torturing kids in jails, no one's gonna say a word, not a repost.
That's sad.
I mean, it just is what it is. And that's the thing that, I'm like, if we're gonna have black media together collectively, we have to stick together. We have to convey a message that helps us and do it all at one time so they know that we at least have the power to protect ourselves by our version of media. If we want to get somebody elected, then we all got to stick together and say that. And we have to be the ones to choose who we want elected.
And we got the power and the number to do that.
Well, right now we do. So if I look at it, we have Earn Your Leisure, we have 19 Keys, we got Billy Carson, we got Mav Hoffa, we got me, we got we got so many collectively that we can stick together. And 85 South, All of those cats. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make history, guys. Come on.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Let's make history.
That's what we got to do. So, for me, it's a call out to all the black media who have any power. Let's get together and let's control the narrative. We don't need to worry or if Fox or CNN. We kind of, in this moment, we have our own news. We can convey the message collectively.
We got the voice.
And we can make an algorithm. So let's do some shit together that helps us. You know what I'm saying? And be proud of that. But what I did realize in putting this tour together is how much time I spend on other people's dreams. And I'm always telling people, you got to be selfish sometimes. You can't help yourself. You can't help nobody. And I've been editing and planning and shooting for so many other people before I do it for myself that I'm like, damn, Brody, it's about time for you to practice what you preach. So I love everybody that I work with and work for, but it's time for me to be a little selfish. I got movies to make. I got singles myself to put out. You know what I'm saying? And albums with Freeway and the Black Guns. It's time for me. I got to put out this movie, The Prince of Detroit. I got to get to making paid in full. And there's so many other things that me personally as a dream, like I got this deadweight zombie movie I need to do. But I'm always like, let me just do this. Let me just fix this. And I got to worry about me. You know what I mean? But I'm like, to my artists that I'm working, I'm like, yo, I'm not fighting harder for y'all than y'all fight for yourself. And what really, my problem with most artists is they have weak management. You know what I'm saying? And they expect the label or people that work with them to do everything. And I'm not going to be talking to people that just show up to collect the accolades. Like, you got to work with me every day, all day long. I used to be a manager. So, a manager's job, and I'm saying for an artist, your manager's supposed to set your shows up, get you a publicist. When I was a manager, I used to give advances, almost like a record deal. And my job was to pay for everything till I got you a record deal. Because you got with me as your manager because you're trusting that I'm going to take your career and I'm going to make sure that you make a lot of money, right? That's my job. So I'm saying, yo, trust me so much that you don't talk to nobody else. So I'm going to give you some money. That's how much I believe in it. But when I make the money, I want the money back. But I'm going to pay for your studio time. I'm going to pay for your tours. I'm going to book your tours until I get you a deal. And once I get you a deal and there's advance, I'm going to take the money back that I put up because I knew that was going to happen. And then we're going to move forward and then make it funded from there. But a manager's job is to be the record label until they find one. To pay for everything. Like, if you're broke and you say you got a good manager, you don't got a good manager. Because a manager's job is to keep you rich, period. And if you don't have money, he believes in you so much that he's going to put up his own until he makes you money, knowing that he's going to get it back.
That's a real manager right there.
And then the manager's going to book your shows. He's going to get your publicist. He's going to get you a booking agent. And if, let's say, you don't get a booking agent, he's the one that's going to go to a market and, book the show himself. And that's a manager's job. A manager's job is never to come in there as someone that's paying for shit questions and you're not doing shit. That's not a manager's job. That's a lawyer's job. You understand what I'm saying? A manager's job is a day-to-day, everyday, all-day thing, and your artists come before you. That's the reason why I stopped managing. Because I was like, fuck this shit. I don't really want to be that person, but if you choose to be that person, that's who you have to be. And that's why I became the label. And I was like, I'd rather partner with an artist than fucking
do all the work
or be their manager and, only make money when they decide that they want to move.
So as a manager, if an artist feel like it's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, can you just say, I'm done with you, I'll drop you?
That's what I do. Why would you keep wanting to invest your time and money in someone that's not going to invest in themselves? So my rule of thumb is you can't work harder for somebody than they work for themselves, period. You just can't. And the appreciation to me, like when someone tells me thank you, I don't want to hear that shit. I want to see thank you.
Put in the work.
I want to see the work. Words don't mean anything to me. It's just actions. To me, words without action are just manipulation.
Just dead.
That's all it is. Saying thank you, but not really acting thank you, or saying sorry, but not acting or doing what would reflect that, then it's all bullshit to have me shut the fuck up. And that's the part I don't like, you know? So I want to make sure that artists, and a lot of times I'll tell an artist or in front of their supposed manager how I feel just because they don't know no better. And I want them to ask their manager, is he right? Why haven't you been putting up the money or booking me shows? Why I don't have a publicist? You know, why am I still broke and I have a manager? If I have somebody whose job is to make me money every day, that means for all day long, that person's supposed to find me some money. You know what I'm saying? Period. So, you know, I always want to make sure that artists know, don't let a manager, because you guys are friends, show up and ask questions, get your money, and tell them that they're your manager. And also, you should be able to, like if you're getting the deal, why would you be giving the money to the manager if you got the deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I don't really talk to managers. I don't have to. I'm not a manager. I can have my manager talk to another manager. But I talk to the artist. And if an artist can't convey it to his manager, I don't have to talk to the manager. I don't know why anyone would think that. You know, I'm the chairman of the board. But out of respect for the person, the artist, I'll be like, I'll check your manager or I'll talk in front of you because there's certain things that he or she should know.
I already know.
So they shouldn't be asking me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say that in front of you so that they can tell you why they're approaching things that way. And because most artists are not confrontational. You know, they're not going to be yelling and shit. They talk through their music. They're not going to be like, why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that. They're not going to say nothing. You know, so a lot of times I'm the guy that speaks up for the artist because they're not going to speak up for themselves.
So artists and the manager, they should be one accord.
Every
should
day.
have a great relationship.
Great relationship, but the manager should be, like, again, it's a manager's job to be
get
on
you
that
the
set
money, to
every
get
day
you
or have
everything.
someone there. To make sure you got money every day. To make sure every problem, that's why I hated being a manager. Because every problem that your artist has is yours. And usually, for me, my experience was when things were going bad, my fault. When things were going great, never my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like a thankless job. Only call me when there's problems. You know? Only call me when there's problems.
So if a manager don't really buy into your artist, you know what I'm saying? Let's say he don't believe in your work, he just cunning you basically.
Yeah. Or if an artist isn't there working with you and only showing up when you're making money, don't expect anyone that's doing the work to respect you as a manager. It's like if you're a dad, right? And let's say your kids were with another, your mom, your other half went with another cat, and he's taking care of your kids for 20 years. You come back like, yo, I'm your dad. But that person that's not the dad just took care of the kids for 20 full years. That could be biological father, but I'm your dad. You understand? I did the work.
I've been there, yeah.
I did the work. You ain't gonna just come up short. And then if you show up asking me questions about how I raised your child, nigga, you should have been there. Don't ask me nothing. Ask your kid.
That's it.
Same thing with a manager. Don't ask me nothing. I haven't seen you. I don't know you. You have to go ask your child because that's what your artist is. Like, ask your artist what happened and let them tell you. Or like, you know, if you mess with a girl and they husband like, yo, what you do with my girl? Nigga, ask your girl. You know what I'm saying? Period. Don't ask me nothing about that. That's between you and your girl. I don't know you to respect you enough to answer any questions. I don't owe you an answer. You understand? Especially when you're asking me aggressively.
Man, y'all hear it all, man. That's from Dane Dash. Now he don't matter some of the greatest artists that we know of all time. So that's knowledge he's just giving y'all, free knowledge. So y'all hope y'all listening.
Yeah, if you're an artist and someone's saying they're your manager, they should be booking your shows, getting you a publicist, making sure you have a lawyer, making sure that you have money, making sure that you have studio time, and also making sure your social media is good. You know, and that type of thing. Going to get you a publishing deal. Going to get you booked to do all type of stuff. Period. And if they don't do that, when you make money, they shouldn't get none of the money you made unless they got you that actual gig. And that's how I always saw things. I could be wrong, but you know, I've been in the game a little while.
If your manager ain't doing and working like that, you may need to fire him.
And you know, and that's the reason why it's on the tip of my tongue is because I'm working with 4 or 5 different artists, and some have managers that do show up, and some have managers that say they're managers just show up at the shows. You know what I mean? Or want to ask questions when it's time for money. I'm like, you know, it's hard to recognize that. But I'm never mad, ever. It's just that person that's trying me, should be able to take a conversation, an honest one, if they're doing certain things a certain way. You know, I'm never really mad at a confrontational conversation unless there's some like verbal disrespect in the street that we know we can't tolerate. But we could go back and forth and then walk away. Just like two boxers could get in the ring, fight, and shake hands. You know, it's all business at the end of the day. But, you know, I'm never going to enable somebody and tell them that they're doing or depending on someone, and that person they're depending on is not doing their job. And then years later, they're like, yo, why you didn't tell me they wasn't doing the job? Now I'm old and it's too late to start over. You know, so I try to tell artists what I know completely as soon as I get with them. And that's the reason why most of the industry, the people, not the people that are artists in this industry, but most of the people that take advantage of artists in the industry, they hate me. And the reason why I want them to hate me, I don't want them to like me because that means I've been letting them rob artists. I don't let people rob artists on my watch. I'll walk away, I won't sign you, it ain't not, you know, and especially if it's a dude, I could tell you, you know, but I ain't gonna tell you it so many times. I did my responsibility of telling you, a dude, go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna tell you more than once, but I will tell you. But I'm not fighting for you if you ain't fighting for you. You gotta be my child for that,
Thanks.
or my girl.
So, for all of y'all that's listening, you know, first we started when we talk about the mothers. Okay, we just want to take this time right now and say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You know, single mothers, we love y'all. Y'all put in hard work. You know, and it's amazing how the things that a mother do. You know, I got my kids for the day. I told my wife, go ahead, take the day off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 3. I know it's going crazy.
Hey, I'm telling you, the next 2 hours later, I was ready to call her back. I'm like, hey, baby, what you doing? You know, so it's all respect for mothers out there. You know, raising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grandkids and all. You know, so we understand the hard work you guys do every day. You know, waking up early in the morning, making sure kids get to school, food on the table, clothes is washed. You know, there's a lot of things, and we just want to say thank you to all the mothers out there.
I wanted to talk about your man Vlad. So I see that he did some bullshit that he had to apologize for, where I guess he says his opinion on something, and a girl said that, you know, you're a white dude that shouldn't be saying certain things. And then he hits the girl and says, what if I tell your boss that this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. And then he gonna act like, oh, I was just kidding, but yet he tagged the school that she worked for, I guess, and all that. And it's the same exact thing that he said to me when I wouldn't give him the interview, or when I wouldn't talk bad about Jay-Z when he, you know, Jay-Z got beat up in the elevator, because I wouldn't do an interview about it, and I mentioned it with Kenyatta. What if I tell Complex that you're, you know, threatening their, you know, other Jewish colleague? I'm like, it's exactly what he did. And
So
these are the type of games.
Blackmail people.
Kinda. Like, you can't blackmail. Yo, fuck you and fuck them was my, you know, attitude there. Tell whoever you want to tell. But it's entitlement of a man from another culture to speak on someone else's culture, and then if someone from the culture got something to say, I'm gonna try to blackball you or get you fired. That's Vlad. You know what he does when, to me, allegedly, because he looks like the type of guy to sue. If you say something, I don't know, he's like a alleged punk ass lawyer, Chris Brown, and pause, Josh, alleged Weber. But it just appears that it's almost like man Karen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, once someone from another culture says something you don't like, you're gonna go and act like, oh, they did this and that based on reputation, da. And it's just all entitlement.
I never trusted him.
It's all entitlement. I don't. And it appears that what he do is, oh, if I don't like what you say and you might look great, I'm calling the police. What if the police knew that you were threatening or didn't answer the questions of the most influential snitch of all times, allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't understand how people go on this show and just be talking the way they talk.
Dopamine.
And you just incriminate yourself the whole time.
If you're not used to being on the camera, it's just like, you hear the mob speaking on the phone and you be like, why would they know better. It's just sometimes I think, especially when you're on TV or when you got a camera in front of you, you really don't realize what it sounds like, what you said when you hear it later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just takes you a minute to get.
Shit,
It just never.
I shouldn't say that.
It's nothing that you would ever be used to. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Vlad, you always showcasing to me that you're a culture vulture, that you only use our culture to make money, and that if someone doesn't let you exploit our culture, that you will hurt that person any way you could, allegedly. But that's what it looks like to me, and keep my name out your mouth.
That's it.
Period. But, I always want to make sure that we are protected, and that when I say something and no one seems to listen, that when it happens again, I'm like, this is the shit I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Period.
We had too many of that going on. And honestly, like I say, I don't never see him interview nobody else that's not white, and don't really push nobody like that. But when it comes to black artists, man, that man have you talk about your whole life story, what you did, what you didn't do, who you know, what you did. Like, we ain't gonna say nothing.
We're not gonna say that. We're just gonna show it.
Gonna show it. They got you. You recorded right there.
Recorded. So I just wanted to bring that to attention. But again, to wrap it up, I know Greg's walking in a second. Overall, right now I got to give it to Kendrick. Just a fan, not a dog in the fight.
I'm just a fan too, guys.
I see it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just a fan of the.
But it does seem like everybody's battle rapping now, so it kind of took a little bit off it. Or it looks like you kind of want to get in the game because everyone else did. And I'm not saying, again, anyone in particular. I'm just saying overall, moving forward, when I see that, that's what it kind of looks like. It's like, now you're battling. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to watch a battle. You know what I mean? Yeah, still going to watch it. I love a battle.
We're sport of the fan. We love the sport, guys.
No matter what, I hate to say it, but if I'm walking down the street and two crackheads is fighting, I'm going to stop and watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas like to watch fights. Like, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Period.
But that's dope, though. They don't start a whole new trend with that battle rapper.
Yeah.
You got NBA players rapping now.
Oh, yeah. Shaq was a battle rapper, right?
Oh, yeah. Shaq out there, Shannon Sharp. You don't like that guy, so.
I mean, I ain't going to never be mad at Shaq rapping because he's Shaq and he don't have to. And also, lately, the shit I've been seeing from Shaq ain't been that bad. Like, I've been seeing him rap.
Shaq can rap, though. Shaq been doing this.
From what I remember, we made a bunch of records with Shaq back in the day.
Okay.
With Sauce. And, Shaq was always like one of us. You know what I mean? A basketball player, but it seems like the same things that make him happy make us happy. Like a real,
Nah, he's a real businessman. Real businessman.
Yeah, he partners with Jamie Salter. I known Jamie Salter for a while. I know him for a while. He taught me a lot about the business of raising money and buying things in distress. So it's always funny to me when I see, people doing certain deals with people. Like if I hear Kanye bringing up certain names, I'm like, I've known him for years. And like, I know their business model on the way they do things. So it was sometimes business models that I just chose not to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like to always have to find an asset that's in distress and then, buy them, liquidate them, and then just license everything about them out. But that's the game at certain levels. But again, back to Shaq. Him battling, I think I like the battle rap with the Shaq. I haven't been mad at his raps lately. And when you're talking that big money shit,
oh yeah,
you're really talking. And not that I'm counting the man's pockets, but it seems like you're making some serious moves. And big shout out. And as far as Shannon Sharp goes, I've been on that show. I definitely don't like the fact that he let Steve Stout talk about me a certain way and didn't call me for any, and it was egging him on, and didn't call me for response or give me the platform for response. And I could see the reason why people could be perturbed with the gossip and the chattiness. But, you know, he owes me an interview, so big shout out to Shannon. And I look forward to, you know, the interview that we as men promised each other a swap. So when I do an interview with someone, whether it's Mike Tyson or Shannon Sharp or The Breakfast Club, I don't get paid. So my expectation is, and always say, I'll do an interview for you, but at some point, you gotta do an interview for me. So Nori, I got interviews with Nori, everyone I said, you know, that's why when I'm on the Cannon show, he came and was on my show. Even when I was on Adam 22, he came and was on my show. I don't think he liked being on my show based on the fact that I told him that he can't tell black people, you know, what they should like or not like. But, you know, that's just usually my deal. So I look forward to having Shannon Sharp on my show sooner or later.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Speaking on Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike's about to fight Jake Paul.
Oh, man. That should be a good fight. One thing about Mike can be 67 years old, but that power's still there. That man's still an animal. You know?
I was disappointed when he fought Roy Jones. I thought that was like, it was
like a little celebrity.
It wasn't like
fight.
it was trying to hurt each other. If I don't see Mike Tyson try to hurt Jake Paul, I'm gonna be very disappointed in Mike. Like I need to see him try to hurt.
Somebody need to hush him up. Somebody need to get him.
Who, Jake Paul?
Yeah.
I mean, that's their thing. You know what I mean? No matter what, win or lose, they're gonna talk shit. I don't even think they care. They're just happy they got this far. You know what I mean? And I ain't mad at them either. They've done a lot for boxing. But I want to see a real fight. Just like whether it's boxing, whether it's battle rapping, but I don't know if it's shallow with me, but I love to see a good fight. And if I'm gonna fight, I want to have a good, fair fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm sick of fighting niggas. They don't fight fair. And no matter what, I won't cheat. So to me, the test is if you're fighting a fair game in a room full of cheaters, just because they cheat, will you cheat? And when you do you feel like you really won the game?
Nah,
For me, if you got to cheat, you didn't win. You know, even though the win might be that, you know, like it's a different win. For me, win is different for me.
But you heard about Garcia. They say he was dope.
Drugs? Yeah, but they say they're like such a person. I don't know, because it's so messed up on TikTok.
Yeah.
For what I saw, it wasn't anything that if he would have, they would take his title back. They would have took the L. They would have gave him take that W from him. But they said it was so much in his blood that I don't know. I can't speak on it, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's the fact that came out, you know.
Yeah, well,
and how you won that fight, you know, got a lot of people saying maybe, you know, he was on something. Cause he looked very powerful, looked big too, you know. But that's like you said, that's done with, over with.
You know the funny shit to me is as it relates to the steroid, all that, I don't give a fuck. If I have a league, y'all take whatever y'all want and get in there and do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But if one's not allowed to and the other does it sneaky, that's different. But for me, I'd be like, enhance, do whatever you gotta do. I want to see somebody, you know, that's what y'all choose to do. Or someone could say, yo, I don't enhance and y'all do, and that's what I do. I don't enhance. And people, to me, like as far as people that use other people's money so much about certain things, that's steroids. You know? But I'm fighting without the steroids. I want a fair one. Just with you versus me. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. But, you know, I understand it. I hope that you just never know when the public was bullshit or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't like read it in the news. I just been seeing it on TikTok. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people on your network with the show that we're doing right now. They ask me a barber question. Sometimes they ask me, why am I brushing your hair while I'm cutting it? You know, just to let people know.
Let them know.
Dame is not just bald head. He's not bald. He has a lot of hair. If they don't cut his hair in 2 weeks, he have a whole afro on the side of his head.
Right.
You know? So
that's why I might take some of them follicles and give myself a line. I might do it. Because I don't think that's
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't think that's like a wig or nothing. It's just
if you use your
follicles.
own hair, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. I'm not going to put a wig there.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, I just don't care really. But I was thinking, for me, whether I do it or not, I don't knock it if someone does that.
Yeah.
But if you put in like extensions and all that I might have or
That's
dye
different.
for me. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to knock everyone that do, but on that level, I ain't doing that. It's funny because what happened? Oh, that was it's funny because to me, you know, perfection does not exist. No such thing. You know, everyone has things that, you know, God deals you certain cards, you just got to play them. It's just how confidently you play them. You know, especially as a dude. Like, most girls, to me, don't want to be with a guy that wants to be prettier than his girl. They want a man to act like a man. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, what you doing? I do that. You know, the girls don't want that. They want you to be clean and all that.
But girls, you do your eyebrow and all that, man. That's female stuff, man.
So, like, vanity for a man, to me, shouldn't be attractive to a woman. You feel me? So, I think women are attracted to more like confidence, real manhood. And like I said, I don't think a man should ever be worried about what he look like as far as physical attributes other than being clean. But,
Now I got to ask you this question now. How do you feel about men nowadays pinning their fingernails?
I wouldn't do it.
And all that. You know, because that's.
I wouldn't do it.
For my culture, I never used to see stuff like that in my culture.
I don't even let them put clear polish on me for my manicures. I don't even let them buff. I just don't think, you know, a man needs to be bringing attention to his nails other than making sure they're clean. But it's just not a thing that's necessary. You understand what I'm saying? It's not necessary for me. But the young kids is doing it, I guess. You know, I have jokes a little, you know, here and there. Like, you run around in my crew with that, they gonna get you. But, you know, it's on some rock star shit, I guess, or whatever. But I wouldn't do it. Just like I wouldn't wear a dress, and niggas be wearing dresses. I would never wear a dress. I'm not doing that ever. You know what I mean?
Because as an artist, you know, your power is influential. You know, what you do can influence the whole. Really, they have so much power. I look at artists and basketball players and athletes. You know, they're like gods. They're like many gods among men. You know, because of the power that they have. What they say, everybody gonna copy it. What they do, everybody gonna copy it. So I feel like if you in that kind of position, you gotta be careful what you do.
100%.
You know, you gotta, you know, because the younger generation, my kids are watching you, and I'm a dad. You know, and I'm a dad, but they'll mimic you more than they'll mimic me because of the power that you have.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I think a lot of people need to think about. You know.
Some people don't think it's bad to paint their nails. You know what I'm saying? So they might want their kids to paint their nails. They want your kids. That's almost the reason why it's so important to make sure that you have more influence in your child's life
than somebody else.
Or your kids think you're cooler than any rapper or any athlete. Like, it broke my heart. Not really, but I know Ray Lewis, right? That's my man. And my son wants to play football, Lucky, and I'm putting him on the phone with Ray Lewis, and it's like he got a poster of Ray Lewis on his wall. I'm like, yo, you got a poster of another man on your wall and not me? And I know this man? So that man could be like, your son got a poster of me on the wall. Yeah. How you teasing me? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was like, you lucky, man. You know what I'm saying? If it was like, if it was in the same field that I'm in professionally, I'd have definitely felt the way. But Ray's my man, so I was like, yo, I just made it a joke.
Hey, shout out to Ray, man. Shout out to Ray. Stood out of Polk County too now.
Yeah, he from out here. Your man Andre Berto.
Berto, T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. This is home for them. I know all the family.
I know you're about to put the blade on the mustache.
Yeah, I gotta get
so
you right.
I can't really be talking during that, but you know, we're about to hit the road, so I knew I wanted to get this done quickly, so we finish. And I'm gonna get this shape up with the thing, and we'll see you next week, and I'll have a lot more to tell y'all. I don't know, Greg ain't show up. I guess he's late, you know, so we'll do another thing maybe over there before I leave.
Yeah, chopping it up.
Chopping it up. We chopping it up. Holla.